cannot reiterate enough how the energies of Earth's ascending plane is affecting us in two ways. It is challenging all toxic soul patterns, all negative soul patterns. I see some of my friends actually going through a lot of upheaval in their relationships. I also see the energies of this earth realm challenging our DNA, our minds, our limiting beliefs, and our energy fields, all blockages into those areas. Hello, everyone. My name is Ruth. I'm with this Violet Flame Global Shift, and together we're going to be looking at the Schumann Resonance. And I want to invite everyone here to like this video, subscribe if you like things concerning solar flares, Schumann Resonance, and Earth's Ascension, and DNA awakening. One of the things that I like to look at is the science as well as the spirituality, and I like to keep an open mind. Nothing on this channel is concrete knowledge in the sense of it's still being explored. We look a lot into the metaphysical realities. We're going to be looking at two theories concerning the Schumann resonance, also some scientific data concerning it, and I have some photos of the recent Schumann resonance of the last week. It's been freaking crazy. So welcome, everyone. Hello, Richard. Good morning. Good morning. The weather finally here in Virginia got a little bit cooler. It is so nice. I'm so grateful for that. Let's go ahead and lower my volume so that you don't hear that. All right. So some of the things that I want to share with you as we wait for everyone to get on is, as I said, we're going to be looking at the Schumann resonance today. For the private live, we're going to be doing August will be hot predictions for you and your nation. That will be right after this. And you can find it on the replay as well if you sign up at the link, violetflame.net/global shift, or just go to violetflame.net and you can see all the resources there. Also, August 31st on Sunday, there will be no public YouTube Live, but we will be doing a webinar and it will be available on the Rumble link on the private live as well. This is going to be removing word curses from family as well as our own personal stuck energy from things that we have committed to or accepted as childhood trauma. Very important. I have been doing this lately. It is powerful. All right, let's get started. Grab yourself a cup of tea. Go ahead and send me a like or a subscribe. Put what the weather's like or what you're feeling this week in the chat. And I am going to do this clearing. All beings, light forms, entities, technologies, and artificial intelligences that do not have our highest good or the highest good of all life on earth, and that are not in service to the one true source of all creation, the great I am, and the technologies you use, such as nanodust, smart dust, black goo, tracers, trackers, implants, blockers, algorithms, operating systems, and all else, not for the highest good of humanity. I command you to leave this live stream, to leave this channel, to leave our bodies, to leave our minds, to leave our energy fields once and for all. Go to the abyss and never torment again. Your contracts are null and void, and all empty space left by these dark forces are now filled with the light of Christ energy, the power of Holy Spirit, and the divine love of all that is holy and good. We invite truth and clarity into the space with healing and liberty for all. It is so. It is done. Okay, there's been quite a bit of activity on the astral realm lately. I am looking forward to the prediction we received last week that the negative AI beings and all those congealed energies within our electronics are going to get zapped with this Schumann resonance. I am also looking forward to some of the negative toxic soul ties that have been maybe keeping people stuck, breaking off and allowing them to think clearly and to think with intelligence and to make their own decisions, because there's a lot of input coming in. There's always been a lot of input coming in from our energy fields, and we've not realized how we make decisions based on social patterns, social constructs, what the person who sleeps next to us wants, what our family members want, and all of this gets into our energy field, and we don't realize we are telepathically picking up their desires as well. And so the energy of Ascension is cutting those cords so that we can be a lot more individualized. I am super, super excited about that. Okay, the Schumann Resonance. I am ecstatic about that. Shauna's here and she made it on time. Good morning. No, you're just in time. Just in time. Here's a picture of the Schumann Resonance. And I'm going to share a little bit about who and how it is registered, okay? But I want to show you pictures so that you have an idea. This has been in the month of July. As you can see, there are green energy lines. That's a chart and a graph recording certain energies. It has to do with Earth's vibration connected to the ionosphere surrounding Earth, and I'll show you the science on that. This was the energy of the Schumann Resonance on July 27th, just a week ago. Now, the white represents increased energy, and the red, the white reveals the most strongest energy, and then it's the red, and then it's the green. The green is the lightest, but it's still a vibration, still a frequency. The green, and then the red, and the white is the strongest. When that white light arrives, many spiritual people will feel tired, and we'll talk about some of the ascension symptoms here in a moment. But this was July 27th. July 30th was a little bit calmer. July 30th, yes. And all of this data, by the way, is from Schumann Resonance. I find their information on Facebook, but I'm sure they have Instagram and possibly a website as well. Go ahead and follow them. It's super cool. Now, here comes August 1st. Highest timeline jump the Schumann Resonance records. There is here a black glitch in the recording of this data. It is recorded somewhere in Russia or in Europe. This data shows that there was a black glitch where no data was recorded. See that black line? And then intense red and white heat, or a frequency, strong frequency, jumped and increased from August 1st into August 2nd, 2025. As you can see on the right, on the left-hand side is where it began in the beginning of the day. The glitch was right before that. And then we had this pure white light here on August 2nd. So that was yesterday as of this reading. Whoo! Now, when I woke up this morning, I could not wake up. I had tingling in my ears. I actually had to go back to sleep. I actually didn't know how I would feel, but August 3rd, today, has been predicted by several mystics and psychics of being a tremendous day of timeline shifts. And I do feel that there was a timeline shift with this glitch right here. Many people speculate that it means the energy is so great that it cannot register it. They also speculate it could mean that the entire consciousness of Earth plane shifted. Now, let me explain a little bit about what the science is of all this energy. Okay, so I went to DeepSeek, and DeepSeek is an AI app. DeepSeek is actually I use DeepSeek instead of ChatGPT. And I like their information here. I get a lot of high consciousness information from DeepSeek. So here I had them summarize the Schumann Resonance. It refers to the set of extremely low frequencies, electromagnetic resonances generated by the space between Earth's surface and the conductive ionic sphere. These resonances are caused by lightning discharges and other atmospheric phenomenon, creating standing waves in the Earth's ionic sphere cavity. Now remember, this is simply the science of it all. Key facts about the Schumann Resonance. The fundamental frequency is 7.93 hertz with harmonics at approximately 14.3, 20.8, 27.3, and 33. So this is where it spikes up to. These frequencies can vary slightly due to atmospheric conditions, solar activity, and geomagnetic disturbances. This resonance was discovered by Winfried Otto Schumann in 1952, and it was first measured by Schumann and Herbert Koenig in the 50s. The causes allegedly are lightning strikes, 50 per second globally. These can excite frequencies. The Earth's ionic cavity acts as a wave guide and traps and reinforces these waves. So they kind of get trapped in Earth's energetic field. The biological and spiritual significance. Some researchers suggest a connection between the Schumann resonance and human brain wave activity, because the 7.83 hertz aligns with the theta alpha brainwaves of humans. It is often linked to meditation, consciousness studies, and Earth's heartbeat theories. However, scientific consensus on direct sociological effects remains debated. It is monitored by observatories worldwide, Tomsk, Russia, Space Observing System. And you can find the real-time data on these sites. And you can go to schumannresonance.org or this site right here. The variations and anomalies are solar storms, geomagnetic activity, which I feel resonates with the Earth's heartbeat or with the earthquakes. Climate events can also alter frequencies. And some claim that the Schumann resonance spikes correlate with massive consciousness shifts, though this lacks rigorous evidence. And I would like to make a point here that I feel, as it says, the solar storms, the geomagnetic activity like earthquakes or climate events can alter the frequency. And some people would even say the frequency alters the earthquakes. Now, I asked ChatGPT for a little bit more understanding on what's online, at least for before I go into the consciousness, human consciousness, let's look at the real-time observations in 2024 and 2025. The baseline frequency still sensors around 7.83 hertz, but with occasional spikes. The recent spikes was in July 2024. Multiple sensors recorded unusual bursts up to 30 to 40 hertz. Normally, harmonics peak around 20 to 33. So massive energy around Earth into July 2024. Some observatories detected high amplitude activity for several hours, possibly linked to solar flares. Okay, the anomalies in 2019 and in 2020, the surges went up to 36 hertz. Some speculated links to global consciousness shifts. That's in 2020, 2019. What happened in 2019, 2020? While everything with COVID was happening, the Earth was spiking up to 36 hertz. And in 2022 and in 2023, there were some silent periods. Interesting, which was extremely low amplitude and near flatlining activity. And again, that flatlining activity, many people believe, are timeline shifts or glitches where the Earth just shifts into another timeline. The effects on the human body. The brain wave entrainment, 7.83 hertz, aligns with the theta and alpha brain waves, or the meditative states. It can have reports of altered sleep, vivid dreams, or heightened intuition during these spikes. Controversial claims. Some Schumann resonance, some experts suggest that it shifts and affects human consciousness, but obviously there's no support for that. NASA studies on astronauts cut off from the Schumann resonance in space are noted to have sleep disruptions, but the results are inconclusive. So what's this saying? Our DNA is connected to the Schumann resonance. Right there, that's a big click right there. And I apologize, I wasn't sharing the screen on that one. But yeah, when the astronauts outside the Schumann resonance, allegedly, okay, are allegedly outside the ionosphere, outside that energetic field of Earth, but they still feel the disruption of solar resonance is leading us to believe that our DNA is connected to this energy field. Now let's look at some of the theories. Let's look at the theory. Shauna says, remember to drink lots of fluids, big time dry mouth. I cannot agree with you more. I have been drinking water like crazy. Let's look at some of the theories that mystics and psychics are saying. Now, DeepSeek as an app will say it as a theory because there's no scientific data, but we have to understand that this is what people are experiencing. So let's just take a look. Okay. Can please explain the theory of how the Schumann resonance affects human consciousness? The idea that the Schumann resonance affects human consciousness is a fascinating but controversial theory that blends geophysics, neuroscience, and metaphysics. While mainstream science remains skeptical, there's still a lot of theories that it could influence the human mind. Here's the breakdown. Frequency alignment, the fundamental SR frequency of 7.83 hertz, falls within the range of human theta brainwaves, which is from 4 to 8 hertz, and alpha, 8 to 12 hertz brainwaves, which are associated with meditation, relaxation, and creativity. Higher harmonics, the 14 to 33 hertz, overlap with beta waves, which are linked to alertness and stress. So that's why I think our brain goes into overdrive. Some of us get moody. I was so moody this week. The resonance effects. Some researchers propose that the Earth's electromagnetic field could synchronize with human brain waves via entrainment, like how a Metatron syncs to a rhythm. So imagine the beat in music or the tick of a clock or Metatron going tick, 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 tick. And our human brain waves start going tick, 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 tick with Earth's magnetic field. Studies explored weak ELF effects on behavior, but results were inconclusive. The ionic sphere interaction. The human body conducts electricity, the nervous system signals. And some argue that external ELF fields might subtly influence neural oscillations, the brainwave ticks, you could say. Then there's also the pineal gland sensitivity. The pineal gland, which produces melatonin, is theorized to respond to electromagnetic fields, possibly affecting sleep and intuition. And then the animal evidence. Species like birds and whales use Earth's magnetic field for navigation, suggesting biological sensitivity to EMF fields. And humans might retain residue sensitivity as well. The metaphysical Earth's heartbeat concept. Some spiritual traditions, such as shamanism and New Age theories, view the Schumann resonance as a planetary vibration that harmonizes with human consciousness. Claims that the resonance spikes during 2012 and 2020 correlate with collective awakening or frequency shifts, but it lacks empirical backing. However, we all know in 2020, many people woke up, and many people say in 2012, many people woke up. Global Coherence Initiative. The HeartMath Institute studies the resonance human interactions, proposing that mass meditation could influence the Schumann resonance. And then there's just some skeptical, no direct proven, the placebo effect, the frequency in labs, and everything else. Okay. So I am by no means an expert in this, but I have been following and listening to different people. I do hope that we can pull some questions on this and get clarity, and then you all can do your own research. There are two theories I have found among the spiritual crowd that say the Schumann resonance is affected or affects two things. One of them believe that the Earth, the Schumann resonance, affects us, and we as our DNA links to the Schumann resonance, and then we're affected by its spikes. And that, I think, would be the theory and the experiences, the experiments, I should say, with the tick, 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 tick. It's like Earth and humanity start ticking together, which I think is so cool. And it's our brain waves, tick, 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 tick. The other, and it's a little bit more of a lofty theory, it says that we as humanity are so powerful because we're connected to divinity that we actually set the tone for human awakening, and the earth matches our vibration and starts ascending to us. So I guess the earth would start ticking to our frequency. The only thing that I have with the second theory is that if humanity, ascends, the earth responds. The only thing I have is that the majority of humans on earth are not awake and aware or spiritually ascending to large degrees. And maybe there, well, we're going to ask the cards. Maybe it is connected because in 2012 and 2020, they were both spikes and people woke up. So maybe it's all coming from cosmic forces. Okay, let me read your questions here. That's amazing about the black glitch, only to be countered by a much bigger wave of light. Exactly. I agree. Those black glitches are it's fascinating. I just realized that watching this on my computer instead of my phone allows me to hear you a few seconds ahead. The phone transmission is trailing a bit. Interesting. And water is not even enough. Got to get my electrolytes. Where's my pickle juice? Yes, I was craving pickles last week. And I put a little bit of like salt and baking soda in mine. And some people are putting apple cider vinegar. I hope Jane and Marie join us. I do too. That's going to be exciting as we get to our questions. Okay. I want to share with everyone who's coming on. Break the Curse webinar will be on August 31st, a Sunday at 11 a.m. We will not have a public live. If you are a member, though, it will be free for you. We will get on either the Rumble link and a Zoom live. And if you want to join the membership, that will be free for you. So I want to invite you all to support me there. But if you would just like to support me with a one-time, it is $32. You can support me there as well. I feel that August will be hot and not the weather-wise. So the predictions for your nation is right here after this on the membership. And Calamity Day, she says she's here. And Marie is here. Good day, all. Sweet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Put your questions in the chat. That's all I have for the science. But there's still a lot more out there. So go ahead and share if you know any other data. My big tall glass of water. All right, Spirit. Is the Schumann resonance a frequency from within Mother Earth? Or is it a reaction from outside or to outside cosmic influences? Where is the Schumann resonance coming from? Again, it only was discovered and recorded in the 1950s. Spirit, what can you tell us about the Schumann resonance? Where does it come from? Okay, we're getting a lot of water cards. We're getting Ace of Water, excuse me. We're getting 6 of Water. So this is a past vibration. We're getting something about future humanity, or let's get further clarity. It's definitely connected to within Earth, to Earth, and a shift, the end of a cycle. This is touting the end of the Kali Yuga cycle around that 2012, 2020 cycle of Earth's vibrations. This is a new frequency, a new energetic frequency that has erupted. And it's marking the turn of the age of the Earth. not just the age of Pisces, but also the age of Pisces into Aquarius, but also the end of like a certain 1,000-year period or several 1,000-year period. But where is this Schumann resonance coming from? We're getting the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the King of Cups. A lot of water. This is telling me it's consciousness. Water to me represents consciousness. It represents the emotional field. It represents ascension, creativity. But I'm not getting any Mother Earth cards. I'm getting an advance in consciousness. This Hermit card would also suggest higher wisdom or higher consciousness. Normally you get the Hermit card when you go into yourself and you do meditation and you hear wisdom from your higher self and you do contemplation and you get connected to the realms of light beyond. It's the way shower. There's some sort of consciousness, higher consciousness that's been descending on earth because it's time in the end of a cycle. It's time that Earth's consciousness arises. Now, this is consciousness as well. Ace of Cups, King of Cups. But this right here, this mental energy, Knight of Swords and Page of Swords, that is confusing me. That is confusing me. Those are words, that's information, that's mindsets, it's the matrix. It's also, we're not being fully told what it is. Sometimes this can be half truths, or not being told it all, something being cut out. What is this? Okay, we got the Page of Wands. Then we have this. Okay, so this is information or energy. We have secretive information, and then we have the spiritual warrior. And I don't like this energy right here. This high priestess coming in with low grade energy is telling me this could very well be the matrix that we've been born and brought into, losing its power, but it was like that negative energy of keeping everyone's DNA tamped down, dormant. And now spiritual warriors and star seeds are arriving, and it's really bringing in higher consciousness. If I had to be clearly honest, I'm seeing as star seeds and light workers incarnate into Earth, which brings in higher consciousness during this cycle of 2012 and 2020, now 2025. And what's doing is all of Earth is going through a massive overhaul, and her own consciousness is ascending. I am actually not getting Mother Earth in any of this reading. I am getting higher consciousness coming in, which is affecting and causing the Schumann resonance. The Ruthites are all here. You're funny. Does it have anything to do with the Black Sun? The Black Sun is a whole nother life. The esoteric community and the ancients of old have said that there is a Black Sun. And the Black Sun, I'm not an expert on it, but the Black Sun is like the antithesis to the true sun. It's like the place where the duality of the sun exists. And it's apparently not a very good energy. Is there any chance that the Schumann resonance is also some kind of warning regarding earth changes or environmental changes? Okay, Spirit, what can you tell us about, and let's see, yeah. I'm still tapped into the energy of the Black Sun, and we have some lack here and some of that secretive dark energy, the matrix energy, and then the consciousness. So I think there was an energy surrounding Earth that is definitely linked to darker energy that was blocking higher consciousness from coming to Earth. And that's why we say some of the old time civilizations, like in the time of Christ or in the time of Buddha, or in the 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, we oftentimes say people were not as individualized. They didn't think for themselves. They easily followed what they were told. They followed the church. They followed the crowd. They lived in their communities, and they were happy just to get up, work in the field, go to bed. They didn't have dreams and goals, and they call it a lower consciousness. Not a bad, it's just lower. Like, they weren't as individualized. So here we're getting more individualized. We're getting higher consciousness, more independent. We're waking up to our truth. So I think there was a dark cloud surrounding Earth for the past 2,000 years, the age of Pisces, that was keeping higher consciousness from coming in. This Earth Schumann resonance is like that consciousness bouncing around. Okay. Is there any chance that the Schumann resonance is also some kind of warning regarding Earth changes and environmentalism or environmental changes? Good question. I heard the words confusion is coming. Okay? And I heard that when I saw the 7 of Cups. And then I heard to group activities or partners. A confusion is coming to some sort of partnership. Let's get clarity. The subconscious could also be corruption, the subconscious. The Magician card, energy coming to alchemize and heal. And information coming in. So when you ask, is there a warning coming? I do believe that it is a sign. It is a spiritual sign that energies are coming in to subconscious realities surrounding organizations and people. Subconscious realities. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? I'm seeing something like the energy field of relationships, the energy field of that business, the energy field of the economics, the energy field, all the energy surrounding everything in this earth is going to be challenged. Are you in alignment with the good of humanity, or are you in alignment with low frequencies? That is what the warning is. Get ready. It's almost like a call from the universe. I hear that Bible verse, everything that can be shaken will be shaken until that which can't be shaken will remain. So the time of reckoning, the time of justice, age of Aquarius, justice. The time of balance is coming. And if you're out of balance, the Earth Schumann resonance is there to shake you up and bring you back in. And I do believe the Schumann resonance is shaking up a lot of people right now. A lot of There's a lot of freaky things. The Schumann resonance was causing so many accidents this week because I drive for my work. So many accidents on the road, like 3 to 4 times what I normally see. And people have alleged it, if you get into a lot of accidents, you need to find some sort of alignment. You need to calm yourself down. You need to get into alignment even when you're on the road, that harmony. Because if you're out of harmony, it's coming to shake you up. And it's coming to bring information, clarity. If you've been blinded by certain situations, it's going to bring that clarity. So yeah, I agree. I'm not getting earth changes. I'm getting just energy fields around people. She got goosebumps when you asked that. That means that was a very good question. And we needed to hear that. We needed to hear that everything challenged. Everything in our energy fields will be challenged if it's out of alignment or in alignment. Ask if the artificial non-planetary moon had previously something to do with this resonance. I did get the moon card. We know that the moon is not in negative play, but could read on that too. That's a good question. What does the moon have to play with this? What does the moon have in play with this, I should say? And the moon represents the energy of our subconscious. Many people say that the moon realm is our subconscious realm, hence our emotional state and why we follow the energies of the moon. Consciousness, higher consciousness comes up, Richard. What is going on with the moon and how does it read into the Schumann resonance? Okay, we have the energy of consciousness again. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, I expected Mother Earth and Ascension, and we're all going to 5D. But Spirit's saying the Schumann resonance is an aspect of our consciousness coming into the 3D realm and then ascending into 5D. Negative or regret, pain, fear, trauma, 5 of Cups. Okay, Queen of Cups. Consciousness, the Queen is the healer, and the 5 of Cups is our emotions. What is the moon doing to affect us? Or how does it play into the Schumann resonance? I'm actually getting that the moon is regulating our energy fields. And let me show you this. We have King of Cups again, consciousness here for the past, which is balance, okay? We have the balance energy and the 10 of Pentacles, which is the collective energy. Balancing the collective, karma is in the middle, and King of Wands is in the future or in the guidance position. So this is telling me that the moon is actually there to help us, to keep us from spinning out of emotional control. And the moon is there, that subconscious realm holds the energy of our karma. It holds the energy of our emotions, our consciousness, our subconscious. It holds the energy of our subconscious. It's like the plane between our conscious reality and 5D consciousness, and it holds the plane of the 4D consciousness. Not getting the moon as a negative force in the Schumann resonance. I think it's sort of like playing with Earth to hold that energy. I see the Earth and the moon, and spiritually they're kind of like the sun, the moon, the Earth will cleanse the emotions of humanity and put it into the subconscious realm, and the realm will guard it and keep it to be alchemized. And then the sun comes in to alchemize it all. It's sort of like they bounce the emotions of humanity and take care of each other. I don't know what that means, but that's very, very interesting. Richard says, get the cell phones off the road. Yes, the distractions. If you are out of harmony with your distractions, the Schumann resonance can throw you off. It can throw you off. And we're talking about that warning again and cleansing. Kamchacha's volcano, I hope I'm saying that wrong. Kamchatka's volcano has erupted for the first time in 600 years. This is after the recent tsunami off the coast of Russia. More to come, perhaps. Yeah, let's do earthquakes and see whether they are a result of this. Let me go to some of my other general questions here. Does the Schumann resonance affect humanity's ascension? Or is our ascension affecting Earth's resonance? Let's look at that theory there, those two theories. Is Earth's ascension, Earth's Schumann resonance affecting humanity's ascension? Or is humanity's ascension affecting the Schumann resonance? Okay, we have 2 cards that flipped out. We have being put into difficult position. And then we have the cosmos. We have the planetarian bodies of light. We have the zodiac wheel. The zodiac wheel is affecting our ascension. The zodiac, the planets, the sun, the forces of light are putting us in a difficult position to ascend. This is higher consciousness. And when I say a difficult position, meaning it sort of like gives us the energy we need and then forces us to look at our shadow. It makes us, focus on our health. It might help humanity view corruption, make new choices. It puts us into that position of a holding pattern to say, what is your choice? Because are you going to ascend? Are you going to devolve? So that's not even answering my question. The ascension and the difficulty is coming from outside sources. Wow. What else can you tell us about Earth affecting us and the collective affecting us? We have the Magician card of alchemy, and then the Knight of Swords, our brain patterns, the information in our brains. Healing, consciousness, healing. Surrender, the ending, those things that need to leave our life because they're not for our best and highest good. And the moonscape, our subconscious patterns that need to be cleansed. Okay. Well, this is not going the way I thought it was going, but what I'm getting here is that the ascension of Earth is a higher consciousness thing, where consciousness comes into the Earth plane, helps it to ascend, and the Schumann Resonance is like an after effect of the forces of light coming in, which is why they say the solar flares come in and Schumann Resonance spikes. And they say the solar flares is the energy of the sun and of ascension. Okay. And I'm not getting so much humans' DNA is connected as much as the truth, the information, and the brain waves are connected. Ask then if these archangels were tasked with guarding Earth's energies till this time, for Earth had to disable itself to cast off the bad, and was a moon put there in our orbit to help us. Whoops. Oh, I can put it on the screen. Okay. There we go. That's awesome. Okay, well, are these archangels tasked with guarding Earth's energies? But I don't want to do it I don't want to distract myself. Learning tech. Spirit, what can you tell us about the guardians of this higher consciousness, guarding Earth, guarding the Earth realm? Was the moon put there to protect us? Okay, it's definitely multiple people coming in. Let me take that out. Multiple people coming in. Multiple, and I say people, beings, intelligences, guarding the Earth and working. I'm seeing also agreements and contracts. So there were certain forces that had rule over Earth and certain forces that agreed to give them rule. Or there were certain contracts made. Interesting that we're getting the same cards again, the Hanged Man and the consciousness, the healing. Yeah, this is the Earth plane. This is the Earth plane, and this is the Star card. So I'm hearing the words. I'm seeing that the moon was put there to keep our low vibrations in the Earth realm, in the 3D, so that our low vibrations and our negativity would not head out into the universe and affect other planets, other realms, other universes, and would not affect the 5D. That the moon is like a guard. Right now the moon in the sky is like a 3D representation of a spiritual reality. Okay, like the Earth is a 3D representation of a spiritual reality that we all live in. I am a 3D representation of a spiritual consciousness, a spiritual person, and a spiritual being. The moon is a 3D reality of a spiritual realm that surrounds Earth to keep our negative energy from heading out into higher consciousness, from heading out into the stargates, from heading out and affecting other universes, other planes, other realities. Interesting. To keep it onto Earth, to guard and to keep it protected. Is it possible that the Schumann resonance may also be calling home of sorts to some people? Do some people pass over or pass away at such times? Good question. Do people pass over, pass away? Is it a call, an opportunity to move into the different realms? Do stargates and portals open? Okay, so you are getting a yes to that. You're getting it's more of a time of timeline shifting, but you are getting a yes here, especially at first. I'm hearing the words in 2012, 2020. But then I'm also getting right what's happening now is just the timeline shifts, the glitches, and it's more like a choice point. For those who have really heavy energy, they have an opportunity to get rid of that heaviness, to get rid of that blockages. For example, this week I had a whole lot of anger coming up. I don't drive and get angry at people. I'm like, I'll pause, come on in. I am not a road rage person. But this week, I mean, if someone was sitting too long at the gas pump, I was like, you idiot, move. And I had so much anger coming up. I also had different energies of memories from when I was younger of like injustices that happened. I'm like, why did that happen? I am not going to be treated this way. And I think it was part of feelings that I never expressed when I was young, feelings I had kept bottled up, and it kind of came out at different people. Now, I never rolled down the window and called somebody an idiot, okay? But I was like, idiot, move from the gas pump. You've been sitting there eating your cheeseburger, and I could have gassed up and be done already. And it's just not being able to express myself. So I think sometimes that stuck energy comes up. We tend to feel it. We're like, who am I? This is not who I am. I'm usually quite patient. But that has to come up to be cleansed. And you're like, then I make a choice point and I kind of laugh it off and say, that's not who I am. But it was there. It was there. And I had to acknowledge that this anger of being treated unjustly was there. And I had to face it, especially with the memories from the past, say, no, I will not consent to being treated like that ever again. And I just made a choice. No, I'm not ever, I don't accept that. And I'm not going to sit here and be angry about it, but I am not going to accept that. That's the energy coming in of a choice point. I am getting, people did used to pass away at the time of the Schumann resonance spikes. Now it's just timeline shifting. Those who want to manifest their reality, your choice will affect it. You're constant, you're a spiritual warrior. You can manifest things and you can shift timelines during the Schumann resonance so much faster. So set your intention, make your choices. Carrie K said a red dragon in stasis just woke up and is not happy with what he is witnessing. It's happening on the earth. Woo! A red dragon represents, I just have chills. In my study about dragons, one day I'll do a webinar on it, but the red dragon represents, we had several red or copper dragons when I went on my retreat. She works with them. They are part of the seraphim. They're part of the angelic seraphim that's above angels, Elohim, and they guard the energy of Christ, the energy that birthed Christ consciousness, the Sophia Christ energy. And dragons can be male or female, but the Sophia energy that birthed the Christ energy of this universe. This is what I did learn in my research. Okay, the dragons guard the energy of the purest, highest, the mother and father of Christ energy that builds our universe. Red dragons represent masculine Christ energy. So what that's telling me here is that there's a masculine higher consciousness that woke up, because red can sometimes mean that. And this is what we saw in the last few weeks building up to this August, is that masculine energy is getting ready to descend on Earth. So that could be some of that higher consciousness energy that we're feeling. That masculine energy of standing up for our rights, saying, I will not be treated this way, breaking the toxic bonds, setting up proper boundaries, setting ourselves into a place where I can manifest my reality. I can choose the life I want, and I'm going to get the life I want. That masculine energy of protection, provision, and justice. Woo, the earth is in tremble. Shauna says, wow, Jane, I wonder if that is related to the awakening of the big volcano on the Kamchatka Peninsula on the east coast of Russia. Let's look at that, written with goosebumps. My energy seems to have more patience and understanding of people. I am so jealous. You've probably learned that lesson so much. I am good for you. Can I have some? Okay, let's go ahead now and pull up the last question here about earthquakes. Well, it wasn't really a question, it was a comment, but I want to pull up the earthquakes here. What can you tell us about the earthquakes? Are they connected to the Schumann resonance, or are they causing the Schumann resonance? Okay, I don't like this energy. Let me show you. We're getting a lie. So no, it's not connected to Schumann, or a no, it's a no. You know, something in mistruth coming in. No. We're getting the truth is blocked concerning the earthquakes. We're getting war. And we're getting a massive shift, a destiny shift. There is a possibility that that was caused by human technology, that earthquake or that volcano. We're getting Earth, Queen of Pentacles, Independence, Two of Cups. So we're getting Earth was independent of causing that volcano. I think Earth would possibly have kept it from erupting so much. Okay. According to the cards, that volcano that caused the earthquakes, or the earthquakes, I'm not getting the earth so much. Only the volcano. Yeah, fake. The volcano was not that strong originally, and it should not have erupted to that magnitude. But some sort of technology came in, some military activity that was stressed out about something, worked with multiple parties to produce this. It has something to do with the deep state and the conflict across the world. That's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. Okay. I believe, reading the energy from the cards, that the effects were heightened by certain technology to create an effect. Okay, take it as it resonates. Take it as it resonates. On a side note, Shauna says, the moon, I just read a prediction that silver will reach 150 in November. Yes! Exactly, Shauna says. Some say that the volcano and the tsunami, before it was created, was a warning to Putin to end the Ukraine war. And Claim Jane says, I believe the DS had something to do with it. Yeah. Mother Earth came up as independent Earth. I don't think that volcano was supposed to happen. It might not be the deep state. I heard that it was the white hats with Trump at the helm. It was part of this conflict. He might have gotten warned definitely by Trump. We could definitely pull on that, but I don't want to trigger my YouTube channel. Makes me wonder, because these earthquakes seem to be targeted. The Kamchatka earthquake was right near a Russian submarine base. Okay, I'm just going to pull cards. We'll see what happens on that energy here. Yeah, there was some sort of movement or activity coming from a location where it was located. There were certain things about to be moved. We're definitely getting a world leader coming in. And we're getting here, we are getting a little bit of the dark, deep state activity. But I think it's not everything we're told it is. Like something's just not, something's not what it's told it is. There is going to be some good results from this. This could even have been, there's definitely going to be healing coming from this, but we're not being told the truth about what caused that volcano and those earthquakes. To be honest, I don't think the volcano caused the tsunamis and the earthquakes. I think there was a volcano coming nearby, and certain operatives across the world utilized that and sent out certain things as a warfare technique. But that's just my initial vibration here. I'd have to do a deep dive on it. Something's not right. Something's around the location of the volcano. Things are being moved, and I'm really seeing technology triggering things because there was a volcano and the media said it was the volcano. We're just going to leave it there. All right. Yeah, they seem to be targeted to special locations. Absolutely. Hence the energy of war that Ruth just read. Kamchatka. Thank you. I'm assuming it's Chatka. Kamchatka. Thank you. Will the Schumann Resonance affect the Lion's Gate on August 8th? I'm doing my intentions at 8 p.m. on August 8th. I definitely want to do a live, Marie, on just Lion's Gate. Sometimes I hear, though, that there's nothing astrological happening at Lionsgate Portal. It's just every light worker gets into a state of manifestation and beautiful things happen. But there are astrologies surrounding that actual August 8th. So maybe I'll do some research on that. Will the Schumann Resonance affect the Lion's Gate on August 8th? Let's ask Spirit. Definitely a good time for meditation. We're getting the meditation card, but we're also getting the card of justice and balance. We're getting the spiritual warrior, the intuition, the Queen of Wands. We're getting a yes, an ace, meaning a yes to your question. And that's smack dab in the center. And the future is alchemy, manifestation. I feel also what Lionsgate is going to be doing is bringing, activating. We are getting the card of a little bit of lack, or maybe a little bit more tired than usual. Our DNA or our physical bodies being a little bit more drained. Okay. I am getting a little bit of the lack of health, but I'm getting that your intuition is going to be spot on. The light worker's intuition is going to be heightened. We can use this time to meditate, especially any karmic traps or patterns that we've had. We can just set new intentions and they will be gone. Powerful time to manifest. So yes, but anything that has been hindering our manifestations up till now will collapse or disintegrate much easier during Lionsgate. Anything hindering, good to know. Shauna says, a remote viewer I follow said that Trump gave Putin a warning that he had 12 days from the time of his warning to end the Ukraine war. So some agreement should be signed the week of August 8th. Let's see. True. Let's see. Dumb related, deep underground. Yes. Dumb, D-U-M-B. I did get that feel, Richard. I got like something in this submarine base. So it'd be underground water. Wow, Marie, what is the significance of August 8th? It's called the Lionsgate portal. Marie might be able to share a little bit more with you there. But it's the 8-8 portal. And usually there's some astrology there that makes it super easy to manifest. And I've heard some people say they get amazing results. I had written earlier that the volcano tsunami might not be the deep state's doing. I heard that it is the white hats. Did any people die? Because I'm interested if a lot of people died in that. We could definitely pull on that. I think this event would have been worse, but the conscious people prayed to lessen it. Calamity Jane says, I'm going to Lionsgate meditation gathering on Friday with singing bowls and a drumming circle. Calamity Jane is living the life. At peace with her reality, singing bowls, a drumming circle. That's amazing. Me, I'm still clearing trauma. Nobody died. Okay. Interesting. Very little property damage too. Okay, now I have to pull. Was it black hat related, white hat related? Who caused the technology to be disseminated? So I'm seeing right now is that there was a target at the Russian base. It was target because I think Putin had plans. We're getting a victory and a strategy. We're getting protection, something being moved. Something was ready to be moved. This could have been resources. There was a plan behind it. Was this deep underground military base related? And what was being moved? Secret, strength, yeah, some sort of bomb or weapon that Putin had. Secret, explosive, to manipulate certain things. Something, I'm hearing the words warheads. Okay. I'm hearing the words warheads, like the nuclear. I think President Putin was getting ready to escalate something, and there was a strategy to end something as well. This was to protect humanity. I think the tsunamis was the earthquakes or the tsunamis might have been an after effect, or no, something caused a shakeup. Technology caused a shakeup at this Russian base, and the volcanoes and the tsunamis were the results. There was an earthquake that shook up this Russian base, and the volcano spouted off, and tsunamis went off. And it was a military tactic. It's finished, it's over, it's won, but someone was getting ready to move something and activate a mission or an operation from this base, and they put an end to it by shaking up and causing some sort of earthquake or some sort of, maybe even targeting it, maybe even a direct energy weapon to target it, and it registered as an earthquake. Yeah, there was some big time playing in that. I do think that it was a protection strategy. Was Putin going to transfer warheads to North Korea? If you get white hats, please ask if this will usher in an agreement that pauses the Ukraine war for some significant period. Protection, moving on again. That is the plan. That is the plan. It was targeted toward the leadership, President Putin. Yes, that is what they were trying to do. Spirit, will this end the Ukraine-Russian war? Will this end it? Or will there be more coming in this timeline? I'm getting a no. But I'm getting it ended something. And it sent a message and it confused the enemies. It confused something. It confused a deal, a business deal. It confused something. It was the end of this agreement, but it's not the end of the Russia-Ukraine war. Was he going to transfer warheads to North Korea? Gene Decode has it the earthquakes being used to herd the baddies in their domes to better destroy them. Okay, in answer to Shauna's question, you got a yes. It looked like he was maybe possibly trying to build an ally, but there's still something there, or set up a leader there, or get a puppet. He wanted a puppet. I don't know what that means, but Putin wanted a puppet. The earthquakes were being used to herd the baddies in their domes. This is getting me the energy of a possible rogue Russian thing too, like not just, it's almost heavy energy, healing. Yeah, everything is okay. Everything is okay, but they needed to end an agreement so that everything would happen. They needed to end an agreement between two people. A deal, some sort of deal. I am getting a little bit that this could have been part Russian, but a type of rogue Russian deal that Putin was allowing, and Trump says this needs to stop. And you need to stop this. But I'm also getting it is kind of like a very independent, more independent bait. Anyway, it could have been the black hats in rogue Russia. You know what I'm saying? The black hats that were trying to do this deal using Russia. Okay. My guess would be that they were positioning Poseidon torpedoes. These are the nuke torpedoes that can cause nuke tsunamis. Oh my goodness. Wow, incognito. It's definitely some sort of explosive. And maybe some of them did go off. I did get a yes to North Korea, Shauna, or something related to that kind of energy. Somewhere in Asia. On Poseidon torpedo, a Poseidon torpedo can erase Florida from the map. One can release it. It won't end it, but pause it. Agree. It's not going to end the war. This isn't even related to the Ukraine war. I think the Ukraine war is because Russia let this get out of control, and Trump came back and said, cut it all out. We're not playing anymore. We're not effing around anymore. And this with Ukraine, this got too out of hand with this little thing in your, submarine base, got too out of hand. You're getting out of control. End it. And I really think that President Trump coming and giving him that ultimatum is a result of some of these things that happened at the base. Does that make sense? Have to run out, but we'll tune in on my private live. We love you, Marie. Because Russia will go to war with Europe in a year or two after this pause. Putin had promised North Korea those warheads to pay for all of the weapons they supplied for Ukraine war over the past years. For the Ukraine. Okay. Yeah, something was being moved, something was being transferred, and something triggered something. And Sean says, I think this is about the Ukraine war. Got you. So it has to do with payment for the Ukraine war. And North Korea is related to that war as well. This business is like herding cats. Incognito says, I don't think Poseidon went off, but maybe they were moving them and someone evoked an earthquake with tech or dark magic. We could do a whole live on that. But back to the Schumann Resonance. The Schumann Resonance, many people blamed the death of the whales. A lot of whales rolled up on the beach. Many people blame the death of the whales on the Schumann Resonance. But was it a result instead of the Schumann resonance, or was it a result of this trigger using technology? Let's ask Spirit. I don't know if you saw the pictures and the photos of all the whales being cast up on the beach. Okay, the collective here. We have the collective card. Spirit, what can you tell us about the whales? I need to switch decks. Because the energy got so confused with the last deck. They said war. We went from the Schumann resonance to war. It just shows how crazy this world is right now, and how much everything is connected. Everything. And again, higher consciousness is coming in, so everything out of alignment is going to get challenged. And so that even the energy of whatever they were getting to move was challenged. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell us about the whales? Were they connected to the Schumann resonance or this technology? An explosion. Technology. So we got the Tower card and technology, and we have the political move, the Lovers card, which on the world scale can be a political move. It came from underground. This would be the earthquakes. Let me move that here. Yeah, this would definitely be the earthquakes. A lot of dead fish on the coast of Lake Ontario. It affected Ontario, but you didn't get any tsunami there, did you? Or any earthquakes, or did you? I'm definitely getting explosion technology. So this might have been seismic technology. And then something about the earth, underground earth. I am not getting the Schumann resonance at all here. But it did spike the Schumann resonance. I believe that the earth, we're getting here some sort of earth-based technology and an energy increase here. I believe that whatever this technology and these explosions were affected the Schumann resonance, and they definitely affected the fish and the whales. And I'm seeing it go throughout the entire earth core. Like it was like that shock. Interesting. Which could be why the fish were accepted. Just weird cyclical stuff, apparently. Probably not related. I do think it is related. I think Earth felt whatever shock this was. And it traveled through the Earth waves. It traveled through the Earth, the crust of the Earth. Hello, Justin. Welcome. Okay, so let's wrap this up here because we are, oh my goodness, it is 12:15. We're going to go to predictions for our nations. So let me get off here. Let me do one more pull, and then I'm going to take a little break. So we're going to go to predictions for our nation, or our nations at 12:30. We're going to go at 12:30. That will give me a chance to get a break. But first, let me finish this reading really quick with what results are coming to humanity because of this spike in the last week. Let me show you the tremendous spikes of this diamond crystalline light. What results are coming to humanity because of this light? Spiritual gifts are going to be downloaded as we sleep. Healing is coming to our body, emotional body. We're going to be integrating certain things within our DNA. We're going to be having things in our physical life that's going to start improving and healing. So we have healing coming in to our physical bodies as a result of this consciousness shift. And then we also have our intuition and our ability to travel at night, our ability to have spiritual gifts being downloaded at night, which is why some people either can't sleep or they have to constantly sleep. There's going to be information downloads, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding coming. How is this affecting us? I think we're still going to be lacking some sleep or having trouble sleeping. Limiting beliefs are going to keep getting challenged, and anything that's been holding us back. I hear the words, don't be afraid to feel, don't be afraid to think, but then let it pass. Think it through, let it pass. Feel it through, let it pass. All right. Wow. I feel like we could do so much more on the Schumann Resonance and so much more on Ascension. But thank you for joining me today, everyone. We're going to be headed over to the private live at 12:30. You can find me at violetflame.net if you would like to join up and join me there as well. Don't forget, we are doing a Cleansing Our DNA webinar, Break the Curse, breaking off all mental patterns from our mindsets. We're going to be doing this August 31st. And I'm going to be doing 3 months of these so that we can truly clean our DNA. And then we're going to be doing 3 months of other activations, awakening our DNA. And just things that I learned. This will be our membership live. August will be hot. Predictions for you and your nation. We can look further into everything happening with what we discussed in this video. I can't say a whole lot because I don't want to trigger anything on YouTube. And I'm getting my subscriber membership up to 300 by the end of the month. So give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for me. I appreciate it so much. Richard says, thanks, Ruth. So got your finger on this pulse of Earth. I don't know. I feel like I have more questions than anything else at this point. But together we will do this. So thank you so much. Love and light, Calamity Jane. I wish you the best. Thank you for everything you do for this planet and for us here in CC. We appreciate it. All right, everyone. Together in light we rise. Sign up to my newsletter if you want to know everything that's happening. Again, violetflame.net. I love you. We'll do this. Have a good day.